everybody. Happy Friday. I know this is like 2 weeks or maybe even 3 weeks in a row that I've jumped online here live on Facebook to chat with you all. And if you're watching this on YouTube as a replay, welcome as well. I just wanted to say hi. Hope everybody's doing well. And I thought I would take the time to share with you some really cool stuff that happened last week at the Safariland Expedition Match. I've been posting a good bit about it here on my Facebook page, but I've also had the chance to take over Safariland's bat phone with their Instagram and their Facebook all last week, so it was a ton of fun. So hopefully you caught some of that coverage. If not, you can catch the replays on Facebook, not on live Instagram, but it was a ton of fun. Not only was it an awesome multi-gun event, cool, but what was really neat is that we also had a very special pistol event, which is what I competed in, and I want to show you a picture here. I'm going to throw up some technology from the members of Team Safariland. Isn't this cool, guys? Isn't this neat? We all wore white jerseys in honor of Michael Voigt, who very sadly passed and left us way too soon. So he was just an incredible shooter, obviously world champion level and super talented. He was a friend to many. And of course, in my opinion, the best president USPSA has ever had. So that was really, really cool to have been able to meet up with so many of our friends, and of course the entire team. Safariland was there wearing white jerseys, standing as one together, doing something that Mike would have loved. So definitely a very, very cool thing. We also they had some amazing technology there, guys. I don't even understand all of it. I'm just going to be flat out honest with you. But they incorporated biometric technology, and they basically stuck this big wrist watchy kind of thing on your arm that recorded heart rate and temperature and EDAs. I'll get into more of that later, but they synced it up with the targets that we shoot as well. So I thought I would show you the video that Safariland put together from that for you guys right now. So let's see if I can do
Are you ready? I don't know. Stand by. It finished. Unload. We're clear.
So one of the things that was really neat is the information that you got out of it. My average heart rate was 96, but it started in the 80s and it peaked right around 99. And what's really interesting about that is I knew that because I was moving more quickly throughout the end of the stage, that would be natural. But I also had some really kind of like potentially dangerous targets. If you noticed at the very, very end, there was that clamshell target that disappeared. And I had a little bit, I had a little bit of a trigger freeze on that one. So it was like really stressful. But I ended up getting an alpha and a Charlie on that target. So it was all fine. I had all my hits. The other interesting thing was that my skin temperature was 102 degrees and the air temperature was 98. It was very, very hot. And this was the very first stage of the second day for us. So it was not as hot as it was at the end of the day, but you could see that, you know, it's definitely a toasty experience. Now, the other thing that's really interesting about this is what they call the EDA, and that's electrodermal activity. And technically it's characterized by the superposition of what appears to be a single distinct skin conductive response. And what's neat about EDA is that we've been using this technology for a while to kind of measure emotional and psychological response. So doctors have used this in psychotherapy, but they've also used it in things like market research for video games to kind of create the best user experience. So I'm going to be flat out honest with you guys. I have no idea what the highest and lowest EDA spikes mean, and they're going to send me more of this graph information as it comes up. But I think that it could be really helpful in determining the moments that you know you get a little bit juiced up and if that correlates to your performance somehow. So to see this kind of thing in shooting sports definitely justifies the fact that, yes, shooting is a sport. I totally believe it. So, in English, please, Marty says, I know, right? What's EDA? I did all of this research to try to kind of break it down for you guys, but I was reading all these papers by all of these, doctors and scientific-y type people, and you guys know me that I am not a very technical or scientific person, so you can certainly do a lot of research on it, but the research that I didn't really quite get it. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to connect with Safariland, get that additional data. It was really neat because right after the stage was done, you could look at your biometric data where you had little spikes in your heart rate and all of this stuff along the way. And like I said, I really am curious about this particular data, how it syncs up with the moments that I remember being particularly not stressed, but like, I got to get this shot off, or I had trigger freeze here, or oh man, I missed that steal, and to see if that kind of anxiety level relates to numbers. So, all very, very fascinating stuff, isn't it? This particular shooting event was not a USPSA event. It was a UML, a United Multi-Gun League event, or a USSL League event, and I will make sure that I post the link in the description for that particular shooting sport. But very, very interesting. In the 3-gun element, the multi-gun element of this sport, it's like a lot of other 3-gun matches. But in the pistol league portion of this sport, the A zone is worth a 0 amount of time added to your score, and the rest is time plus. So if you hit a C, it's 0.25 seconds added to your score, and if you hit a D, it's 0.75 seconds added to your score. So I really liked it because even though the targets were close and it was really fast and furious, that A zone is pretty small. And it really kind of suited my strengths. In fact, I was 3rd overall in carry optics. I posted that here. I was also the first among all the women in all of the divisions, in the pistol divisions combined. So I beat some open gun girls out there with my carry optics gun, with my M&P, and that was really, really awesome. In fact, and as an obligatory thank you to all of my sponsors. This is all my guns and gear that I used for the event. My Smith & Wesson Performance Center M&P Core, which I love. This is the first match I got to use Federal Premium Syntech Action Pistol. That's a 150 grain, 9mm. Oh, it is amazing. I can't tell you. It feels like cheating. It's so, so awesome. And of course, I have my Trijicon RMR in the 3.25 MOA. This is a Type 2, so it's really, really robust, and I love it. Of course, a Safariland ELS rig with the 5198 holster, 771 and 773 mag pouches, and of course, I store it all in my Liberty Safe Presidential, because that's what I love. Mike asks, was your info different between easier and harder stages? That was the only bad thing. I would have loved to be able to be hooked up to this biometric system throughout the entire event. But because they were trying to get as many competitors as possible, I only had it on 2 stages. Where I think it would be most helpful and most interesting for me in particular, be the very first stage, somewhere in the middle, and the very last stage. Because that first stage, you're generally the most juiced. Somewhere in the middle, you're in cruise control. And at the end, I think it would be very, very useful to see the data, the physical data, what you're going through, because I find that my last stage in a match is often the most difficult one. In fact, it was at this particular event. I had my only penalty in the match on that stage, on the last stage. I was a little petered out. Again, 100-degree weather, lots and lots of water, lots and long days, and of course all of the excitement of everything, so it was pretty tough. But I feel like if you know what you're typically doing in the course of a match, you can kind of apply certain things to make sure you have the best game plan up here and physically as well. So great question. Thank you. So that was basically some of the stuff that went on at the Safariland expedition. They're posting a lot more videos from a lot more shooters. You can watch, my fellow teammates do some runs through the biometrics. I think I have one more. Plus I have a ton of video from the event as well. So that's very, very neat. I'm also toying with the idea. I know I posted a poll here on Facebook as well as Instagram about where you guys watch your videos. And I'm going to be flat out honest with you guys. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. I even made a little nice graphic. Bam! Thank you, 20K, to all of my subscribers on YouTube. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. If you're watching this on YouTube, because I'm going to repost it, I love you all. But man, YouTube is not loving us right now with everything that's been happening between their policies, the fact that you have cyber warfare going on with anti-gun groups applying pressure and thus strikes against channels. It's a really, really ugly time for good, lawful American gun owners and people out there promoting safe, responsible gun ownership on these platforms as creators, and it's really frustrating. So far, it's been tough. And in fact, I haven't posted a video on YouTube in a very long time. This will be the first one. It's going to be repurposed on Facebook. And I'm honestly thinking about doing more Facebook videos. One, because my audience is greater here. Thank you guys. I love you. Mwah! And two, because you get a good bit of reach. And three, it's never been about the monetization aspect of things. I'm not on the internet to make money. I'm on the internet to share my passion for the shooting sports. So that's one of the reasons why I'm toying with the idea of doing like a weekly show that will break down a stage similar to what I've done for you guys today. So let me know what you think about that. On Instagram, overwhelmingly, people are like, go to YouTube, which is funny because Instagram and Facebook are, like cousins, brother and sister. I don't even know. Mom, dad, aunt, uncle. I don't even know. But it's very interesting what people think about that. So if you do have some comments about your viewer experience and what you feel about social media networks and how we're being treated as, creators in the gun world as lawful, good, responsible human beings that are just sharing our sport and our passion for the Second Amendment, let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to see other stages from this foreign land expedition, let me know. All right, so I'm going to go through all of these comments and the comments from my previous videos here in the comment sections, both on Facebook and on YouTube. YouTube people, don't hate on me now. Don't hate on me. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. And thumbs up, loves, and you guys have a great weekend. Later, guys.